All right, everybody, good evening. Welcome, Sabrina. Welcome, everyone watching. If you are on YouTube, I'm so grateful that you're here. Thank you for being in the room. And if you're listening to the replay on Spotify, I'm so grateful. Welcome to Moon Magic and Mindfulness with Grace. We are here to discuss all things weekly motivation, weekly strategy, weekly mindfulness, and to talk about the moon, our favorite little compass that is always up there, right? Rowena is in the room. I'm so excited that you're here, Rowena. Thank you for joining us. Happy new moon in Pisces. Happy Pisces season. If you know a Pisces, wish them a happy birthday. Tomorrow is my husband's birthday. He is a Pisces, and that's very interesting for this Taurus, who is very rooted and very grounded. So thank you for being here. This is so interesting what's happening this week and what this new moon invites us to do. This is one of those packed episodes. We used to journal and paint live, but now I just come all prepared. I've already done my journaling and my painting, so we're going to discuss the journal promptings that come with the book. And if you're brand new here, we are following the Moon Magic and Mindfulness with Grace 2023 Manifestation Agenda / Journal, available now on Amazon. So we are going to discuss the week ahead. Welcome, Billy. We're going to discuss the point of the show is to meet every moon day. Here we are. And to really ponder the week ahead, strategize however best you can, given your circumstances, your work, your family life, your own rhythm, your own struggles, and try to make it the most productive. And if it's productive in the sense that you need to tap into self-care and rest, then that's what you strategize about. And if you need it to be productive because you have a deadline, because you have quotas that you need to meet, because you are a busy individual, then that's what you would strategize. If your strategy includes your children because they're actively engaged in sports or extracurriculars, so on and so forth, then this is what the umbrella of strategy is all about, is that it's different for everyone. And I try to kind of just bring about this concept of strategizing, time blocking, and getting ready for a most productive week ahead. But productivity looks different for everyone. So I'm grateful that you're here tuning in and listening, whether now or to the replay, because I hope that this will be, helpful in the progression of your week. So thank you all. Let's begin. We have a very interesting week ahead, and we also have to discuss the new moon that peaked this morning at 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for those in Pacific Coast. It happened yesterday on the 19th, right at the very end of the day. but it really peaked at 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so for us in the East Coast, it happened today. And this new moon in Pisces is really all about, of course, new beginnings. It's a new cycle. So the new moon really invites you to close out loose ends from previous cycles from the previous month. And Pisces being the most divinely attuned of the zodiac signs kind of invites you to tune in to that spiritual awareness. What does that mean for you? That's up to you, right? Your religious background, your spiritual development or lack thereof, your intuition, your divination strategies, however that looks like for you. Pisces season really invites you to do that. And then because the new moon is happening in Pisces at the beginning of Pisces season, meaning the moon is in Pisces right now, it's a great chance to just ponder what you want to pray for. Ponder the things that you really want to ask about or ask for. Encouragement. What do you need, right? When you sit down to think about your prayers, what is it that comes up? And the moon in Pisces invites you to keep these things in mind. But because it's a new moon and it's closing out cycles, it's almost an invitation to ponder the lessons from the previous month. What have you learned in the experiences that you have encountered, the conversations that we have had, previous moments of enlightenment and intuition, right? And how are you going to implement them moving forward? Because you see, this journey of self-awareness, self-development, self-improvement, all of the selves, talk about multiple this journey of the self, it never ends. It's once you reach a lesson and you're like, I made it, I learned this, there's a new path to discover. And it's beautiful, albeit quite exhausting, especially if you're living a life in the land of the living, meaning your spiritual development and your self-improvement is happening up here and your life is happening, down below. And as you know, I like to use this phrase a lot, as above, so below. How do you align all of that so that it's all really on the same page? It does take a lot of energy and work and consistency. And this season, I feel like with Venus moving into Aries as well, we're going to talk about this transit. There's a lot of self-awareness happening. So first, let's begin with the moon cast. As you know, I like to talk about where the moon is every day and what this may mean for you in your experience. And if it resonates, great. If it doesn't, just leave it where you found it. So the moon is in Pisces today until Wednesday, until what's today? Monday night. So it was in Pisces yesterday, Monday night, Tuesday night, it'll be in Pisces as well. And then Wednesday morning, it'll transition into Aries. I already told you what the moon in Pisces is all about. So tune in, dream journaling as well, right? If you're going to ponder those prayers or questions right before you go to bed, for example, then you might want to keep a journal with you, next to you, so that if you wake up in the middle of the night and you remember a dream, just write it down. Don't even think about questioning it or trying to interpret it right away or try to tune into what the meaning of the dream is. Just keep a note of it. I saw this in my dream, or this person was in my dream, so on and so forth. Just keep tabs on your dream. And then later on, it may make sense. Later on, it may kind of untangle itself with your experience, with your day, or, you might receive an answer, right? A revelation, if you want to call it that. So that's the moon in Pisces. And then it moves into Aries. And here's the thing. Venus is also in Aries. It's going to be in Aries until Friday, then it moves into Taurus. But Venus in Aries, this transit is happening between today until March 16th. And Venus in Aries is very concerned with the here and now. But as you know, Venus is the planet of love, relationships, connectedness. And if this love and passion is concerned with the here and now, this might pose kind of an impulsive red flag for people who are seeking a relationship, because you may ignore the red flags because you just want to be concerned with the here and now. And here and now, you just want to be in a relationship. Here and now, you're lonely. Here and now, you would love to have a person to, I don't know, go to the festival with, go to the fair with. We just had the rodeo where we live, because that's what happens in Central Florida. While everybody's having like Mardi Gras in Central Florida, you get a rodeo. And so here and now, you might want a date to go to, Mardi Gras. And so you're not going to be so concerned with the red flags. But as you know, in my community and in my work, I'm very concerned with people being aware of their romantic red flags and how I can control myself, but I cannot control you. But I want to be aware of the red flags that come up with you in a conversation, right? Not necessarily to create discord or conflict, but to just be aware and assess whether the person that you are interested in having a relationship with is also self-aware or in the emotional intelligence journey that you are on, because otherwise, how does that work? And so Venus in Aries is very concerned with that impulsive romanticism that can be very detrimental in the long run. So don't get into an impulsive relationship between today and March 16th, because you might regret it later on. And that's kind of the warning that comes with Venus in Aries and this transit that happens until March 16th. Hello, everyone. Welcome, Deborah and Kathleen. So happy that you're here. And so we're discussing the moon cast, where the moon is every day. It's transitioning from Pisces into Aries, but Venus is also in Aries. And Venus in Aries is very impulsive and lovey-dovey and ignores all types of red flags to just focus on the here and the now. And so I'm very concerned with what that could mean for some of the members of my community. So pay attention to that. Venus in Aries also wants to warn you about impulsive money spending. And that's okay. You can indulge on yourself. You can splurge on something that you've been wanting to buy for a while. And maybe you have been tiptoeing around it, but you know you deserve it. You know you have the money for it and you just want to get it. So money in Aries will kind of tap into, maybe now you should get it. Maybe now it's the time, but I do deserve it, but maybe not, but so on and so forth. And so this long transit, and I say long because it's almost a month long. It starts today, Venus in Aries, and it's going to go until March 16th. So that's almost a long month. Again, what's your relationship with money and what's your relationship with spending? Because Aries can be very, I'm going to do it. I don't care. I'm just going to do what I want to do. And then Venus is all about pleasure and comfort and, the exuberance and the lavish aspects of life that, of course, we all deserve and we all want, but do it responsibly, right? So when you are aware, then you can keep your eye out for those red flags. So mind your budgeting. Mind your spending, spend responsibly, right? I'm sober, so I'm not going to tell you to drink responsibly. You should know to do that. But I will tell you during, Venus in Aries to spend responsibly so that you don't compromise money that should be going somewhere else with something that you want to splurge on. And then it's going to go into Taurus, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The moon will be in Taurus. And Taurus is all about comfort. Taurus is all about whether you are at peace or attuned with your surroundings, with what you have, with the aesthetics that you have put together for yourself, or a lack thereof, that comfort, a lack thereof, that aesthetic accomplishment. And so if you're not pleased with your surroundings, you're going to feel that discomfort every time the moon is in Taurus. If you're not grounded, you're going to feel uncomfortable at a time where the moon is in Taurus, because Taurus is the most pretty much rooted of the earth signs. And so, of course, Capricorn and Virgo are also earth signs, but think about it, the ram and Capricorn, the goat, they're not as big and heavy as a cow, right? And so when it comes to just logic, Taurus is the most rooted of all of the earth signs. And so when the moon is in Taurus, it is about what you have accomplished for yourself in the physical world, in the material world, right? On the earth. And so that includes, stuff, what you can hold in your hand, not so much the spiritual, the divine, the above, right? Your dreams. And the root chakra is, the type of thing that you might want to mind when the moon is on an earth sign as well. And the root chakra is, the money, the safety, the security. Again, with the Venus in Aries, there's a lot of things that can be kind of blended together to bring up a lot of meaning for you and your experience. So that's the week. That's your moon cast. And that's a lot. I know. Plus, we have this new moon that we need to touch on. So thank you. Thank you for listening. And if this brings up something for you or questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. And if you're listening to the replay, feel free to follow me on social media and drop a message or a comment. I post about this show pretty much everywhere. So you're welcome to just tie everything together and leave a comment, whether on Instagram at songofmyself.ig or on Twitter at SOMcoaching. So the week from the book invites you to ponder what you will make sure to do this week. And I like to ask this question because, Gary Keller wrote, for example, the one thing. What's the one thing you need to focus on today that will make a big difference on your business? And sometimes the one thing you should be focusing on is your child. Sometimes the one thing you need to be focused on is your relationship with your spouse. And sometimes there's one thing that you could do for your business that will get that ball rolling. So what is that? And I like to ask every Monday, what is the one thing at the very minimum, if everything else goes awry, if everything else just goes sideways, let's just call it that, what is the one thing that at least will bring me solace if the week goes by and nothing else gets done? So what is that for you, right? So for example, for me, and I failed at this last week, I did not do this. And in fact, I didn't do it because I got to do it and then I encountered some roadblocks. So it's week 2 and I'm still working on it. But my one thing that I need to make sure I create this week or that I put together this week is the version of my new book on Kindle. And this is something that I've been working on since last week. So now this week, I want to make sure I finish what I started last week. I want to figure out whatever roadblocks I encountered by Friday. As you know, I put all of this away Saturday and Sunday. This is a boundary that is very personal to me. And so I haven't touched my ebook since Friday. Now I'll start on it again tomorrow. And hopefully by Friday, it will all be ready. Right? So that's the one thing I want to focus on if nothing else happens. What will I create? Well, I needed to create my subscriber handout and I already sent it. It's already done. So it's only Monday and I already checked that box. What is it that you want to create this week? Maybe because of the moon and everything that's happening astrologically, maybe you want to create a budget for the next month. With Venus in Aries and this kind of soul calling to splurge on things that you may have deprived yourself of, but you deserve and you want so much, and the money is like there for you to spend. Maybe you want to create a budget so that you can make sure to do the responsible thing, right? And not necessarily splurge. If you're going to splurge, then again, splurge responsibly, right? And then what are you grateful for? This is something that I will always bring up. If you know me, gratitude is huge in my line of work and in my personal practice. So, what are you grateful for this week? These are the things that we ponder every single Monday, and you could be practicing it every single day, right? And then the book has affirmations for the week. They're meant for you to remember, repeat, or ponder every single day of the week. But of course, in the book, they're only brought up on Mondays. And so the affirmations for the week are: I am committed to creating positive opportunities for growth. I am open, willing, and able for the gifts that life has for me. And why open and why willing and why able? Why did I choose those three things? And it has to do with the fact that, first of all, the blessings are already there. One of my favorite words in the Bible is the word prepared in the past tense, which implies that it's already done. It's already there for you. The question is, are you open to receive? Are your eyes open to identify that blessing, claim that blessing, be worthy of the blessing, whatever you want to reason around that, because the blessing is already there. And so I am open, willing, and able to receive the gifts that life has for me. It makes such a difference to even just ponder that. So do yourself a favor and ponder those words this week. And then, take a moment to journal for the week. So the agenda invites you to do all of these questions, ponder the affirmations, and then it opens a page for you to journal. So this is all about mindfulness. This is all about taking these thoughts, especially today with the moon in Pisces, right? And all of this going on, ideas, insecurities coming to the surface, very vivid dreams keeping you up at night. What is happening that you just want to kind of shake off or let go of? And a great way to kind of let go of it and detach yourself from it, even without making sense of it or finding meaning into it, is to journal. And a lot of people like to journal and throw it away, especially if it's about a dream or if it's about negative stuff, and that's fine. I have been journaling since I was a teenager, and I do not like to throw it away. I like to be able to look back on what I have journaled. So this is why it's here. It's in my book, and it'll be here. And I have all the journaling for the past, since the year started, every single moon day. And then, of course, the journaling for the new moon is sealed. So we have been doing this in this show since last year. So right here, there's so many things journaled under this moon. I don't even remember when this was, but it was a full moon. That's why the full moon is there. And then we painted over it. And this is the one for today. I did it on Instagram Live earlier. So if there's no questions so far, we're going to dive into the new moon so that we can continue going. So that we can continue. There you go. All right. So the new moon, new beginnings, new cycle. What did you learn in the past month that you might be being invited to kind of implement now? And this weekend has been very interesting with a lot of boundaries, with a lot of opportunities for me to establish some boundaries with my social media relationships. And for somebody like me who is involved in Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Fireside, there's a lot of people everywhere. And I don't mind that. In fact, I love it. I have been doing this for a very long time, almost 14 years now. And so I'm used to it. However, it never ceases to surprise me. And because I am a highly sensitive empath, it never ceases to affect me emotionally when I encounter negativity in social media, especially if the negativity is unwarranted and if the negativity is just completely uncalled for, bizarre. I have no idea where this came from, and I have no idea what you're talking about because I haven't done anything. Now, if I'm responsible for something, then a conversation will happen, apologies will be sent, things will be worked on, especially with members of my community. And this is something that happens on the daily. But if it's, a stranger that just comes into the group with negativity and toxicity, I feel it. right? Highly sensitive empaths. You will feel it in your chest. You will feel it in your breath. You might sweat. You might just feel very uncomfortable. And this is just not positive. Who wants that, right? Who wants to engage in that kind of animosity, right? That's the word. And so if you follow me on Instagram at songofmyself.ig, you're going to be able to see the live where I kind of dissected all of that because, of course, you know, 8 hours ago when I did that, it was a lot fresher than it is now. By now, I've already talked through it. I painted, I journaled. And so I've kind of already worked through that mentally. But negativity in social media will never cease to affect people in our community. And building those boundaries around our social media relationships and social media conversations is self-care. It is self-love to do those things. And it's very interesting that the new moon questions for this week are: how am I being mindful of the faith, meaning your beliefs, what you stand for, the hope in your heart, what are you trying to create, and your daily efforts? How are you being mindful of these? And by mindful, it means, are you aware of how these three things show up for you? Are they aligned with your values and, with your life in general? And of course, the thing about bringing self-awareness to this is that then it creates kind of a footprint, or a blueprint, I should say, to kind of hold other people up to that standard. And it's not that we want to be elitist or exclusive, but at the end of the day, we want to build relationship and build friendships and build community with like-minded and like-hearted people. And so in order to find like-minded and like-hearted people that kind of speak the same language as us, we need to master our language. We need to master who we are, and we need to be self-aware. What is your mission? What do you stand for? What are your values? Do you even know who you are? I've asked these questions so many times, and it's very interesting that the new moon in Pisces is calling us to do this. And then I've experienced, these questions myself this weekend, right? Question number 2, what am I doing to make sure my self-care and my self-love are aligned? I'm very interested in knowing what Rowena would say about this one, right? Because she has a broken ankle. She was here last week. She shared about that. So I'm referring back to her now because she is in the audience. And of course, she checked in, so she's doing better. And we're very grateful about that. But what are you doing to make sure your self-care and your self-love are aligned? And sometimes, especially when it comes to social media relationships, self-care and self-love mean saying no, blocking someone, unfollowing someone. You're not unfriending them. If you unfollow them, you're just not going to see their content anymore because their content makes you feel a certain way. And if you were on my Instagram earlier, you know that I'm very open to people unfollowing me if what I share is not aligned with them. I'm not going to tell you to keep following me if you're not comfortable. That just doesn't go with who I am, right? It doesn't go with my mission, or it doesn't go with my mindset about everything that we discuss, right? So what are you doing to make sure that those two things are aligned? And how can I move responsibly? The word of the day with Aries with Venus in Aries. How can you move responsibly in the direction of your dreams? And the reason why this question is worded in that way, first of all, I am not an astrologer, so I was not aware that Venus was going to be in Aries this, new moon. This is just how things align and how beautiful spirit is. I'm so grateful. But responsibility, the ability to respond is the question of the day with Venus in Aries, right? And Pisces is about that leap of faith. Pisces is an invitation to really target your journey with all imperfections, right? Let's remember that imperfect can be divided into I'm perfect, right? I'm sure we've all seen that. And the journey into the unknown can bring a lot of exciting moments of just learning and opening up and expanding, right? And that's really what we should all be striving for. We don't want to stay stuck. And in growth comes elevating or moving forward or expanding, right? And so it's inevitable. You might as well do it on purpose. Instead of just floating along the river, you might as well really pay attention to how you can play a part in the development of your journey so that you can really bring your dreams from above to below and earth your dreams and figure out exactly how to bring these things to life. That's the question, right? That's the ultimate goal. We all have dreams that we want to to manifest. Thank you. And the new moon, regardless of the context, regardless of where Venus is, or regardless of any transit, or regardless of where the moon is, like right now it's in Pisces, the new moon itself is about planting those seeds. So it's always going to be an invitation for you to dream big. Now, the last new moon, I remember mentioning that it wasn't the most, what's the word? It wasn't the most fertile soil for you to manifest. And I remember it had something to do with Mercury and Pluto, and I don't remember what else. But this new moon in Pisces, because it's in Pisces, is an invitation to really ponder your dream long term. And of course, Venus in Aries is going to be like, oh, I want to do this, and this is what I want to do, and it just feels right now. And I want to invite you to really, again, ponder the things that you're going to commit to in the next 4 weeks. The new moon opens 4 weeks. You know, that's the length of what the cycle is. It doesn't end with the full moon. It ends with the next new moon, right? Watch what you're going to commit to, because much like when Mercury is in retrograde, right? Mercury, the planet of communication, when it's in retrograde, there's a lot of miscommunication happening. So contracts may just not really work out. If you're going to go into a contract during Mercury retrograde, you might regret it when Mercury goes straight on, right? And steps out of that retrograde. And so with Venus in Aries saying, I want it now, I don't care, it just feels so right today, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go for it because I can, because I'm an adult and I do what I want. Well, come March 16th, when Venus transits into Jupiter, you might regret it. And it's not that regrets are, all that bad. But if you want to maximize your experience and if you want to do your best, then be aware of these things. Think twice before you make a commitment. Think twice before you make a decision that could really be long-term in your experience. And again, going back to relationships, because it's Venus, the planet of love, connectedness, relationships, and whatnot, then be aware of someone else's red flags and your own red flags before getting committed into a relationship right now. If you were not in a relationship yesterday, you may feel today like you're so in love and like this relationship is so right for you. But I just want to invite you to really look at it responsibly and ask the right questions. And if you don't know what the right questions to ask is, then I invite you to do a quick Google search. What are the right questions to ask before getting into a committed relationship? Just ask Google and see what resonates, and then ask the questions, right? Or book a call. A clarity call can bring so much clarity. And I'm not a relationship expert, but I have been there in both toxic, impulsive, abusive, and now a healthy relationship. And I say it with quotations because we're all human and we all ebb and flow. And, the healthy thing is, are we asking the right questions? Are we communicating? Are we, tapping into each other, making sure that our love tank is full, so on and so forth, blah, 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 blah. So That was a lot. And that is the full moon week. I mean, the full week with the moon for all of you. So thank you for being here, everybody. Now, the question is, thank you for that. Does anybody would like to come up to say anything, to share, to ask any questions, to ponder anything about the new moon? You're all welcome to come up. And if not, we're going to go straight into the meditation, because this was lovely how quickly it just went through, and how awesome we just discussed all of this. And so if you have nothing to share about this week specifically, the question then becomes, what are you looking forward to this week? What are you excited about? Rowena joined me, and Deborah, welcome. Who's going to go first? Deborah.
Hi. Hi. Sorry, I saw an invitation and I clicked on it.
Hi, how are you? It's been a long time. Welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a while. Had a lot of health challenges, so I had to kind of take a leave from everything for a little bit. But I think resonated with me was asking the question. And although this is kind of a weird one, but my husband and I, when we started dating, we dated, started 95 when we started dating. I had a rabbi mention, because I'm Jewish, that we should be talking about that. How would we raise the kids? And I remember saying, I know we're never going to get married. I know that's like not going to happen. Let's just have this theoretical discussion today. And I never expected that we would be together 27 years later with two teenage boys and a cat and a dog. But we had that conversation. We had that conversation on how are we going to raise the kids, but also a more pertinent one is he's a gamer, and I'm a person who's doing a lot of community service programs, right? So we had to have that conversation of how do we balance our passions with our time together. And we had that discussion of that compromise. Like we will have 3 nights each of us doing our own thing and 4 nights like we doing things together. And that may not be for
Right.
everybody. That was that discussion, right? But as time transitioned, my husband has been incredibly patient with me. This week I've been very irritable. But, he's been very patient with all those changes. And I was going to tell you this, with that energetic work I've been doing, it has completely changed our dynamic and my ability to engage and interact and connect with him on a completely different level now. And so that's also been very beneficial. And that came from my own journey and my own work on myself, because I needed to do that to be able to have a more connected relationship with my husband. So when you're saying that discussion and that positive relationship, that was what was coming up for me, of having that real conversation, and not just with your significant other, with yourself, finding out what it is that's making you tick, good or bad, so that you understand where you're coming from, so that you can engage a little bit better on the good days and on the bad days too. Just have being moved to have that self awareness, because without that self
Right.
awareness, it's even harder to have that true connection.
Yes. Oh, I love that. That was beautifully said. Thank you for summarizing all of that. And thank you for bringing your own experience to the table. And I remember our last conversation, you were talking about both your husband and your child meditating with you. And I remember how that was a huge milestone in your relationship and in your journey. And it just felt good because it validated what you've been doing and working towards with your singing bowls and all of that. I remember. So I'm very happy that you brought this up, because you're absolutely right. See, the thing is that if I don't ask those questions about myself, then how do I know to bring them up in a relationship, right? And it's the same thing with being aware of my red flags. If I'm not aware of my red flags first, what entitles me to even look at your red flags? Like, there has to be a level of self-awareness so that then we can all be on the same page, and hopefully everybody communicates at the same level. So I'm grateful that you joined us, and thank you for sharing.
Thank you. I can't believe you remember that.
I do. I remember a lot. Yes, thank you. Thank you for being here, Deborah. So, Rowena, how's your ankle?
It's improving, which is amazing. Hello, everyone. Yeah, all my swelling's gone down, all the bruising's dissipated. I'm
Mm.
very grateful for natural medicines help with magnesium and arnica to take all that away. But now it's just the healing of the bone, which will take its time. But I'm
Right.
good, and I'm really love the conversation today and talking about self care. And I made a decision this week to go to part-time hours. So I'm going to
Mm.
give myself back some time in the week for myself and working towards my next step. So that feels really good. And I'm very happy about
Yes.
that. And while I'm healing as well, it gives me time, a break from work to have one day, less a week that I have to be sitting in front of a computer and be able to, properly rest and heal as well as, do all the dreaming and the beautiful Pisces stuff for the next
Hmm.
phase. Yeah.
Yeah, I get the
Mm,
feeling that being full time was part of that pressure that was only amplifying the discomfort
mm.
of your foot.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So I'm really looking forward to that, giving myself that space. And, as soon as I made that decision, I had a couple of things happen that kind of reinforced that decision was the right one, which I love. I love when you get those little affirmations of like, yes, that's a good choice.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm really pleased and I feel a lot better. Like it's like that relief of, doing what's right for me feels good.
Yes. Oh, it does. And so thank
Mm,
you because you just kind of brought up the real life example of that affirmation of I am open, willing, and able for the gifts that life has for me. And if you had not been open to receive that revelation or that intuitive thought to kind of back away from work into part time, then you wouldn't have been willing to ask and then able to kind of go with that decision. But you did it. Yay. And now you reap the
yay.
benefit of the gift.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, it feels really good.
Yes. Oh, Anthony says, okay, so Deborah says that creative spaces help me retain a positive mindset. Yes, I agree. And this is a space and a conversation that definitely helps me. So thank you all for being here. And Anthony says he got my book today. I'm so excited. Thank you, Anthony, for your support and for loving my poetry book, which is out now. So, thank you. Thank you again. And I'm looking forward to, where this week takes us because as you know, we're going to touch base on next week and just keep this journey. And I'm interested, of course, in keeping tabs and checking in. Rowena and I chat a lot on the back end on Instagram. And so I'm very grateful for you, Rowena. And Deborah, of course, I'm glad that you're back in the game and grateful that you're here. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I just say something for Rowena?
I'm
Is it
sorry,
okay?
what?
Can,
Yeah.
can I say something real quick to
Of
Rowena?
course, yes, please.
Thank you. So, with all of my medical conditions, I also have a lot of severe chronic pain from all my subluxating and dislocating joints. And for me, it was about finding, and I just really created this space for myself in my house that allows me to support my body, including my IV treatments and infusions. And my kid made fun of me because I have IV fluid like stashed, ready to go. Uh, but I also have a whole creative space around me as well. In addition to the singing bowls, all of my art supplies, all of my art programs, things that allow me to practice some mindfulness and then be able to gift it to people in a gratitude element. It has helped me in my healing process and coping with all of the challenges that come along with pain and injuries and so forth. And I noticed this year has been tremendously different than previous years. Even though my health has been probably worse than ever before, my reactions to it and my hospitalizations have been very different because I've gone with my artwork, I've gone with my art supplies and crafting and gifted them. And it's really helped me work through the energy, bring in that positivity as well, and do that mental health reset. So that's just wanted to say because I can relate to that and also that being open to whatever is going to happen is kind of will happen is meant to be.
Thank you so much, Deborah. That's really lovely. I appreciate that. And it's so funny you say that because literally on Friday, I got a care package from a friend who I haven't seen for a while. And she sent me a bunch of flowers and a basket of art supplies to do crafting while I'm healing. And so she was like, I'm looking forward to receiving a card or something from you with all of the stuff I sent you. So I'm like, that's spot on. Thank you.
Just in time for your new moon journaling and painting too. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see it.
It's just great. I love the synergy. It's awesome.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for being here, always validating my work. You just make it so easy. Thank you. Thank you for being here, both of you. And so get comfortable. Let's do a meditation before we go and part ways. And for those of us in the East Coast, before we go to bed, I love getting to do these with you because I literally go from this show to transition into my bedtime routine and then have a great evening every single Monday. I just love you all so much for being here. And I appreciate the time that you take to tap into your own gifts, your own strategies, and to just figure out your life. But the fact that we do it together, it's just so nice, isn't it? Because we don't have to do things alone. That's the most beautiful thing. So get comfortable. If you're sitting down, both feet on the ground. Music for this meditation is brought to you by Brain FM. There's a free trial in the link in the fortune cookie or in the description. And just relax. And if you can lay down, then lay down on your back, close your eyes, get comfortable, and bring your awareness to your normal breathing. And I forgot to mention that 222 is a portal. So let's just dive into this portal right now. And pay attention to whatever energy you feel this coming Wednesday. That's when the moon moves into Aries. And 222 is a very tangible energy. So follow my lead for this breath work. Breathe in nice and slow through your nose. Slow, slow, slow. Just fill your lungs all the way to the top. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let it go nice and slow through your mouth. Slow, long breath out all the way. Hold it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe in through your nose. Deep breath in. Deep, deep, deep. Fill your lungs. Hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let it out through your mouth, nice and slow. Long breath out till you have no air. Hold it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe normally. And as you breathe and relax and feel the weight of your body on your bed, or your shoulders relax, your hands heavy on your thighs. I want you to imagine that we are all sitting together on a beautiful patch of land. in the still of the night. No moon in the sky, so many stars, so many possibilities, endless opportunities, so many promised blessings, a fire burning bright, keeping us warm, and a beautiful wooden gate just a few feet away. And as you look around, and you ponder whoever is with you in this moment, all the lessons learned, all of the roadblocks that you have overcome to get to this moment. The pride of making it this far, and all of the hope for what awaits you on the other side. And with a deep breath in through your nose, deep, slow, deep breath in through your nose. Hold it at the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let it out through your mouth, nice and slow, long breath out. Hold it again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and breathe in again through your nose. Deep breath in, hold it at the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, let it out through your mouth. And as you let it out in this field, with this fire going and in the darkness, you straighten your back and you lift your chin up and you walk confidently through this gate and into the other side. And what awaits you is for you to ponder. And with a sense of gratitude, renewed confidence, and so much joy, I want you to ponder and remember, with your hand on your heart, I create positive opportunities for growth. I am open, willing, and able to receive the gifts life has for me. I am so grateful for every step in the journey. I am responsible in the way that I maneuver every opportunity. I value my life the people in it, and every creative moment. I am so loved, guided, and protected. With me, take a deep breath in one last time through your nose. Long, deep breath in through your nose. Hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let it out through your mouth. Nice and long breath out all the way. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe in again through your nose. 1 all the way. Hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. And let it out through your nose. Through your mouth, sorry. Hold it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe in again. And slowly bring your awareness to your body. Wiggle your toes. Bring your awareness to your hands. Open your eyes. And come back to me. That's the part Rowena waits for. I knew it. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. I knew you were waiting for it. Come back to me. And I apologize. My music just changed genres at the very end, and I was not expecting that. But it's okay. We're all good here, right? We made it past the gate, and we made it together. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for joining in the journey of soul alignment, mindfulness, strategic thinking, and self-empowerment. How beautiful and how epic are we? Thank you. Thank you all for being here. And I hope to see you again next Monday, next Moon Day. You're welcome, Deborah. Thank you all for being here. And if you are looking to find me, work with me, or just connect with me in any way, follow the link in the description below. You can book a call, you can get my book, you can work with me, or just follow me on social media where I will see you tomorrow and the day after and the day after. I love you all, and I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. Bye, everyone. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Let me just tell you real quick. Join Kathleen and I on Thursday for episode 3 of the Arthurian Tarot Journey. Thursdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope to see you there. Bye, everyone.